Welcome to Gregorian Chat.
Woo! Gee-hoo.
Here we are, in the studio, but not in the studio.
Outside the studio.
Outside the studio, with a beautiful view, great backdrop.
I mean, you already had a beautiful view.
Exactly, and a great backdrop. That's
So,
basically how I describe myself. Welcome to the video podcast, which we're now calling it the video podcast.
yeah.
Nah, the podcast.
No, the video blog? The
No.
vlog? No, we're not going there.
It's not a blog, really.
I don't know what a blog is.
Well, you're a blog.
Okay, then.
You just sit around all day, you're a blog. No, welcome to Gregorian Chat, episode 13.
13.
With your hosts.
Dom and Dom.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you which one's called Dom.
But it's good to be back. We're here with some more tea. We're here with some great content.
Yes.
The title of today's podcast is Relijesus.
Relijesus. Are you Relijesus?
Are you Relijesus?
Are you really Jesus?
We're going to explain that a little bit as we go on. Basically, we're talking about Jesus versus religion, ? Jesus does not equal religion, ?
Does Jesus equal religion?
And then talking a little bit about spirituality. But yeah, on to less important matters, the tea.
Oh, I don't know about less important.
What are we drinking, Dom?
We are drinking some Happy Days.
Happy Days, a special edition release.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't expecting it to be pink.
It's for Mother's Day. T2. That's what they said. They've got
Wow.
4 or 5 new flavors.
Was it for Mother's Day?
That's what he said.
How did I not pick up
Good
on that?
old Ben. Yeah. So he said they release they're trying to get 3 every month or something like that. 3 new teas.
I was not listening well enough.
Okay.
Clearly.
Well, apparently there's some people that literally their whole job is to make up new teas.
I heard that.
They travel around the world, tasting stuff, and think, this would go well in tea.
Like a tea sommelier. Someone who does wine stuff.
Oh,
Cheers, let's go.
that's
What struck me about this tea in T2, why we wanted to choose it, is that the sniff, the smell of like the raw tea content without water smelled kind of like peanut butter and jam.
Yeah, very fruity. Very nutty.
And then the smell of it brewed was kind of like nougat.
Yes.
But that was brewed cold, whereas this is hot brew. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting
a lot of nuts.
confessions. This is
Sorry, not time out of place.
it's a lot of peanut butter and jam is going up my nostrils right now. But the great thing was that it's not just a sniffer, it's actually a sipper too.
I got a real taste of banana then.
Oh man, well it has banana chips in there.
Chips with banana.
Go to T2 and get yourself some Happy Days. I mean, I'm already giving my summation of this tea
It's
right
happy
now.
days. It's happy days.
I'm in Happy Days right now, just drinking.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to, Dom? What have I been up to? I may as well just ask.
Well, I mean, we did do Station of the Cross, and we had like a couple of days off.
We did.
And where I had big plans, and I did none of them. I was like, right, I'm going to start going for a run, I'm going to go do a bunch of reading, and I woke up in the morning and fell right back asleep. I was exhausted. But that got us right into gear for the NCYMC, National Catholic Youth Ministry Conference, Christchurch.
In Christchurch.
You might have actually seen our live video that we posted on the Chaplaincy page.
That's been going viral.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Had about 3 views.
Yeah, okay. And 2 of those were me and you. Anyway, so we went to the National Catholic Youth Ministry Conference in Christchurch, and it was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal.
God is working. 200 people from all over the nation.
What was one of the highlights? Well, as in, just give me like a synopsis of what you learned there.
I learned, the best way to start a ministry is from the bottom up. There's a lot of hard yards to make, but it's totally worth it. Grassroots is our slogan.
Starting from the bottom up, man. That's like that joke. What did the E. coli say to the stomach? Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team ministering here. So
yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got from it. Also, Bishop Charles Drennan, the most badass bishop I've ever met.
He's crack up,
Just walking around, buttons undone, shades on.
He actually looked like Mr. Smith.
Yeah, like
Agent Smith. Sorry.
Yeah, like say old, less hair, but like
more there.
But anyway, yeah, so he's really cool. I mean, I didn't even speak to him. I just looked at him. I shook his hand once. I got a picture with him. Yeah. I'm pretty content.
I actually didn't speak to him either. I was like, excuse me, like in the dinner line or something. That was about the most of it.
No, he seems like a cool guy.
But it was great to be down there, and it's good to be back though. What I did love about Christchurch was the climate. Out in the cool air, the crisp air.
Takes me back.
And deciduous trees. There aren't many of those here in Auckland.
We're very decisive over here.
Well, deciduous place. Because I'm looking for one. No, this is not a Jewish place, but that does tie us into our topic.
Religion.
Jesus versus religion. Now, we don't just want to feed, bring back this topic for nothing. But I think it's quite relevant because you get a lot of people these days who are saying, I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. And then my mind immediately goes to, well, what's the definition?
Yeah.
Where do we stand as Catholics? Because a lot of the time, as religious people, we are the brunt of the, not the joke, but we take a lot of the hit for being religious.
Yeah, people look at us, and especially when they often attach a word in front of religious, of organised religion. No, we want disorganised people. Institutionalised. But I mean, yeah, I think what we're talking about here isn't necessarily trying to redefine, but just trying to remember, or trying to understand what people are getting at when they say religion. We're in a time of redefinition of everything, and I think that just comes from a forgetting of where we came from.
You heard it here first, guys.
This guy said it. You heard it from Dom. I'm seeing which one. But anyway, because something I learned when I was at university, like the term religion was actually brought about in the 1950s.
Is that right?
Yeah, a bunch of scholars were like, look, we've seen all these people, and they're doing weird things, and we want to document it and study it, so we'll call it religion. It does come from the Latin word religio, which I can't remember what it means, but if you remember what it means, comment below.
It means religion.
It means religion. Anyway, and basically what they saw, they found the key concepts of all religions, like believes in a god, has a regular meeting, prays and stuff like that, and then they said, okay, these things mean religion. However, what they kind of did in doing that was they belittled religion. They minimized it and simplified it, and so it's like if you say this is what religion is and you stop there, you miss the point. I always make the point of, like, in the Jewish language, in Hebrew, there's no word for Jews. They can't refer to themselves in their native tongue.
No,
because
they're just the chosen people.
There is no way of saying it.
Probably getting that pretty loud in the microphone.
Motorcycle.
Sorry,
so as I was saying, there's no way of in the Hebrew language to refer to Jewish people, and also with Christians, we were called Christians. We didn't say
first Christians at Antioch.
We went to say, hey, let's come up with a catchy name that we can just unify each other with and make up rules. No, it means Christ-like, and say these guys are acting like Christ. Let's call them Christ-like. And there you have Christians. So again, we've taken these words that are being used, and actually the root of them isn't something that's been imposed, it's something that's organically grown.
That's right. And I think, if you think several years back, there was that video from that guy, what's his name?
Jensen Bethke.
And that sparked a lot of interest in this whole debate, because he came in saying Jesus hates religion, Jesus is against it. And I really liked Bishop Robert Barron's rebuttal of this kind of spoken word video. He kind of just took it, was like, yeah, some guy who thinks he's got some brand new ideas about Jesus. He thinks he's got some brand new ideas about institutional religion, and then just reminded us all that a lot of it comes back to Martin Luther and the roots of Protestantism, which is the whole "are we saved by grace or by works" argument.
Yes, yeah.
And kind of saying, well, no, you can't. You can never earn your salvation.
True.
Basically, what he's saying is that Benson Jeske, whatever her name is, tries to boil down religion to trying to earn salvation, which one is not accurate. It's just a very broad scope of what's going on.
Yes.
But two, like, he just it totally there's a failure in his definitions, because he just decides to remove Christian from among religion.
Yes.
But what he actually has just done is tried to select evangelicalism,
Right.
evangelical Protestantism, and that's what it means to be Christian.
Yes.
So there's a failure of definitions. But what it sparked in my mind is this whole idea of, I'm spiritual but not religious.
Yes.
I'm like, well, how do you even
Yes.
do that? And the biggest thing that struck me about Bishop Barron's rebuttal was he was saying, basically, if you try and say religion is, just take it all as one, and you say institutional religion is wrong, it's evil, it's against what Jesus believes. Basically, what you're doing is you're separating Jesus from his mystical body, mystical body of the church, which exists in a physical form because we're physical.
Yes.
But also in the divine, the mystical body of Christ, because Christ is spiritual.
Yeah. And I was thinking actually also because sometimes people look at religion as it's just a bunch of rules. People say it's like a way of controlling people, and I suppose in saying that, being anti-religion, or saying that I'm not being religion, or I'm just with Jesus, not religion, you are essentially setting up a whole other bunch of rules, and therefore becoming more religious yourself. I think being religious is part of being human. So how do we know God? Here's 5 ways to know God. It's so now that's the only way to know God. It's no, that's not true. That's not true. This is the standardized way. Because Catholicism, I think all Christianity really, and deals in ideals. They have ideals and they try and meet them. So it's ideally, everyone is living in an ideal situation, but is also aware that we're not living in an ideal world. We're living in a fallen world, and therefore there are dispensations. So
not everyone deals. I mean, Dom just confessed that he deals.
I deal. You deal. We all deal.
I
deal with a lot of things. Anyway, for example, Jesus, when he was talking to the Pharisees, they were saying, don't do any work on the Sabbath. And Jesus comes at them and says, if your donkey falls down a well on the Sabbath, are you just going to leave him there because it's the Sabbath? You're
going to save your ass.
Yeah. Yeah, that's donkey to the situation. Anyway, so that was a good call. I was thinking, how can I get ass into this? No, I don't think that often.
Don't think that often.
No. Where was I? I completely lost it now.
Basically, Jesus was saying this is...
Yeah, so we have dispensations, and that's what Jesus was, showing us there. It's you need to save this animal for your livelihood, for your work, and for the good of the animal, for God's creation. And no rule trumps God, but God gives us rules so that we can live, an ordered life, because we need order. And it doesn't hinder creativity, but if anything, it grows it. When again Bishop Barron talks about freedom, he talks about it being something that we think of freedom as I can just go and do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want to do it. See you later, But then he actually makes the example of great sportsmen, we might say Richie McCall over here. He didn't say, right, I'm going to be good at rugby, give me a ball, I'm just going to run at those guys over there. He trained. Right. He limited himself. He pulled himself back. He covered himself in his rules.
That's right.
And limitations, so that he could become more free.
And might I offer a little bit of analogy? Yesterday was Anzac Day, right? So we were celebrating what? Okay, well, the benefits of the freedom that we now have from those who've gone before us, those who have fought, and those who have stood up for what they believed in. Take that as an analogy for faith, especially a Catholic faith. Our big deal. Everyone gives us, a bit of slack for this all the time, but we rely a lot upon tradition. Yeah. Because it's following the analogy. The saints, the doctors of the church, priests and religious and holy lay people are the ones who have gone before us.
Yes.
They've laid down their lives, in service of God. Yeah. And that has created, the tradition of the church. And what we see at Anzac Day is it's not just, we're free and our fathers and grandfathers fought at Gallipoli so that we could do whatever we want. there's actually a responsibility that comes with that freedom. And it's like, well, they gave up their lives so that we could actually do something with ours.
Yes.
We're not just free to do whatever we want. We have a freedom to make good choices with what we've been given.
Yeah, and actually, use what you've been given, because like if you take the attitude of just freedom for freedom's sake, you might not do a very good job and then think, actually, I can't be bothered, so I won't do it, because you're also free to not do things. But I always think of athletes. One of my favorite Olympians was Simone Biles. She won the gold medal for gymnastics last year, like on her first try. Because she did something that hadn't been done before, and she didn't do that because she was just she'd never done it before and she just ran out onto the platform. No, she trained and she learned all the different moves, how to do them, and then with her unique creativity of her person, because she was created uniquely and perfectly as she is, she used that and added it into the structures that already existed.
And she left everyone else miles behind. And so, and that, bringing it back to what religion is, it's like, okay, so we've been sent out into the world to be in the world but not of the world. So how do we do that? Okay, the church is like, here's a few suggestions. Yeah, and Jesus, exactly, what he didn't come to abolish the law, which is exactly what he says in Matthew 25.
Yep.
He says, but I came to fulfill it.
Yes.
And so it's like, if Jesus didn't want us to be religious or have rules or anything like that, he wouldn't have referred to the Ten Commandments.
True.
He wouldn't have instituted the Eucharist, the Lord's Supper, all kinds of things. Like,
probably wouldn't have even gone to the synagogues. He wouldn't have gone to temple.
That's right.
He wouldn't have followed the law of purification when he was born. He went to Mary, she was a good Jewish woman. She followed the law. They went to the temple after he was born to be presented to God, and in that came the prophecy of Simeon.
That's right. And something I might just say about that whole idea of being spiritual but not religious. The idea of religion is that it's a body, it's a community. Obviously not all religions are like that, in the sense that you've got Buddhism, which is very much a kind of self-centered enlightenment.
Technically
not even a religion. But the thing with spirituality is it's like it's trying to separate, something that is actually one and the same. And the idea that religion was actually, and religion as a search for God is made as a community. You don't just go looking for God on your own, because it's like, I found God, great, well, everyone else will have to catch up. I'm enlightened, I'm not going to share that. And that's why we have the church, because it's like, it's made to be something that's done as a body. In a way, it's kind of saying, I don't need you, I'm spiritual. Whereas religion is saying, no, we need everyone. Everyone that's been, everyone that's coming, and everyone that's now. And we need to come together regularly. We need to honour and worship our Lord. And here's how we do it. Here's how we do it, not because this is the only way, but because then we're all on the same page. No one's making mistakes, and everyone's, at the basic level fulfilling what God wants for us all. So the question, Relijesus, was Jesus religious? He was a Jew. He was a Jew. He was a practicing Jew. Does that mean that, I think it's drawing the definition. He was a religious person. He didn't hate religion. He hated bad religion. So he hated hey Owen, how you going, man? He hated when people weren't doing it properly, corruption in the church, which was something that we should all hate.
Yes.
We should all strive against that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all in all, religion is a pretty good thing. A lot like this tea. It was very tasty.
Tasty.
And the simplicity of that statement says it all.
We were somewhere in Christchurch, and they had tea bags on the plane, in fact, on Jetstar, and it was called Simplicity, and that was quite exciting. That's pretty much all we got time for, though, today. Get yourself some happy days from T2. We're going to be having some more tea winning competitions probably coming up on the podcast. Please like it and share it.
And if you have any more questions about this topic, put them below, and maybe we can answer them. Maybe we can do another podcast on it. Because this is a big topic. We all need to know about it. We're all interested in it.
Until then, keep it Catholic.
God bless.
Kia ora.
It's good doing it outside.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. We're certainly enjoying making it. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Auckland Catholic Tertiary Chaplaincy.
Also, follow us on Facebook at Facebook.com/The Chaplains.
Or you can find us on Instagram at Auckland Catholic Chaplaincy.
We also have a webpage, www.newmanhall.org.nz.
If you're going to be online, make sure that you like, you share, and comment in the box, maybe if you have some extra stuff to add to the conversation. Thanks.
God bless.